So I've been dropshipping for several years now, and over that time frame, I've been hiring out different pieces, different projects of a store, web design, video ads, customer support, etc. The list goes on. And today what I want to try doing is seeing if I can actually hire everything out and create a profitable Shopify dropshipping store. Now, I'm going to be using sites like Fiverr.com, Freelancer, Upwork. These are all sites that you probably know about. I'm basically just finding a third-party vendor to be able to fulfill all these different tasks out, virtually hiring everything out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my journey to trying to make a profitable store by hiring everything out without, basically lifting a finger, okay? I'm showing you a product that I'm currently testing, so you're gonna kind of get a sneak peek at first glance at something that I'm still testing right now. So go ahead and drop a like. And Chris, by the way, I know that you've been watching my channel. Why don't you subscribe, man? Come on, Chris. What you doing? Yes, you subscribe now? Okay, all right. We can jump in the video. A year later, they come back and they say, hey, you took me out of that position, you took me out of that job, you took me out of XYZ. I'm financially free now and I can do what I want. What's going on, guys? My name's Kyle, and today's a good day because you found the right video. Now, today, what we're gonna be doing is something a little bit different, something I've not done before on this channel. And what I'm trying to do is actually create a profitable Shopify dropshipping store without doing any of the work. I know that sounds crazy and I'm a crazy guy. I think we can make it happen. The other thing that you're gonna notice about this video has taken me about 2 months to create. There were a lot of unforeseen challenges and barriers and things that I had to wrestle with throughout this whole time. I'm gonna share that experience with you. It's also going to be kind of a learning experience for everybody that's watching, because these are things that you deal with. These are things that everybody deals with in space. Things come up and you have to kind of react to them and to diffuse and to put out any sort of fire that comes your way. And you're gonna be able to see all that stuff in real time. So it's a really special video. I'm super excited about it. If you have not yet, I released a free skyrocket success with Facebook and Instagram ads, PDF, ebook, whatever you wanna call it. And I released that last week. It looks like a bunch of people already took advantage of it. If you have not, it's completely free for you to download. It's basically everything that I learned from spending millions of dollars on Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I put a lot of time into this, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Go ahead and get your copy down below if you have not. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I had to do is actually find a winning product. Now, I didn't want to hire this out because in this world, it doesn't matter if you have a bad product. It doesn't matter if you have the best website in the world or ads in the world. It just won't work. So I don't feel comfortable actually delegating that out. What I did is actually went and spent about 30 minutes or so actually researching through methods that I teach on my channel here. First thing I did was hop on my phone and get to work. And like I said, after about 30 minutes, I had found my winner. Now, all I needed to do was actually take this shovel. Now, all I needed was a website, a web designer to actually create a great store for the shovel, for this military shovel. And, in the past, I've used sites like Fiverr.com for logo design, for virtual assistants, for all sorts of stuff to help run a business. And I wanted to find somebody on the cheaper end for this challenge because I didn't want to go out and hire a professional and the results kind of be skewed. I wanted to find someone that might be beginner, might be basic, might be kind of a cheaper option to see if I can actually make this store work. Now, the best place that I know for that is actually Fiverr.com. So the first thing I did was actually go on to Fiverr.com and just type in dropshipping websites. And as you know, hundreds of different people came up, different vendors, different designs, different price points, and I started to sift through all those. Now, some were cheap, some were moderately cheap, some were expensive. You had a wide range of them. And what I decided to do as I was out there, I was like, you know what, this is what I can do. I can find 3 stores, 3 different price points, 3 different designers, vet them against each other, and answer the real question, the time-old question. Do you actually get what you pay for? Now, the next thing I wanted to do is actually have the same copy, the same pictures, the same strategy for all of these designers so that I could really determine who is the best designer at the end of the day. And so what I had to do is I had to actually go to different sites. Actually, you know what? Wait a second. I'm getting ahead of myself, okay? I need to design a logo. So let me go back to Fiverr.com and we need to find a logo designer. Okay, so I went back to Fiverr.com, I typed in logo, and this is the guy that I found. This is the guy that was gonna create the logo for the whole store. And as you know, I don't try to put a lot of money into logos. I'd say normally do it yourself. Otherwise, you can pay like 10 bucks if you have a little bit of money, maybe create something a little more professional. And so all I did was I sent him over some details. I gave him the name of the store, the name of the product. And within 24 hours, he had me back a design. Okay, so now we have this logo design. The next thing I need to do is get back to the other point I said was I need to create some copy, I need some pictures, I need content for these designers to go off of, okay? And I want to give them all the same thing to see who is the best designer for the price point. What I decided to do is normally I'll just go on the internet, I'll type in something like military shovel or whatever the product name is into Google. You're gonna have other people that are selling their products. If it's a drop shipping store, there's gonna be other products that are being, other stores that are selling the same product. And I started to look through those different websites. I went to Amazon, I pulled some reviews off. All I was doing was I was just pulling all the information that I could, not really filtering anything, just getting as much content as I could and putting it onto what I would call a swipe file. I just pull all that inspiration onto a swipe file. And then from there, what I'm able to do is actually work through it, tweak some things, add some things, deduct some things, pull it all together, have this amazing product at the end of the day that I could go ahead and send to these designers. And what I did is after I had all this put together, I had this beautifully laid out strategy. I sent all of that content, the same exact content, to every single designer. And then what I had to do is I had to wait. And wait I did. I waited about a week or so for all the designs to get back in. I just started to do a quick glance at them, see if there's anything missing basically. And sure enough, you know, like what happens is there's a little bit of miscommunication. There was one designer who actually didn't include any of the copy that I sent over. He kind of went off on a tangent on his own thing. So I had to contact him, get things made right, and then I had to wait another 2 to 3 days for him to get everything right to send back to me. Originally, what I wanted to do was actually do a full in-depth review of all the stores put together. And I actually had done that. And then I since came back and said, you know what, let's save the time. That's gonna take a lot of time just to go through each of the stores. If you want me to do that, let me know in a future video, but I'm just gonna show you the store that I settled on with great price point for what he gave me. So let's take a look at what we came up with. So here's the store, and surprisingly, this is actually the cheap one. I paid 25 bucks for this store. Shout out to Shopify AsFan. He's the guy that came up with this. What I want to show you is I have not touched basically anything. I've left everything virtually the same. We got this free shipping on our orders up here today only. So that looks good. We've got our logo. Home about us, keep it simple, contact us. And this order tracking is really important. I think he's got a currency converter up here, which is great. This is okay. I'd like to see this video actually the first thing, but that's kind of a headline I came up with, the only shelf you'll ever need. You know, here's that video where customers are saying, so here's a nice testimonial. Here's all the things that you do get in here. Yeah, these are just headlines that I put in here. This looks fine. Your Venture Sidekick, incredible shovel. So overall, it's a pretty basic website. It's a one product store website. I've got all the reviews down here. You know, these are okay. I obviously, I'm not a huge fan of the mailing list just because it's not that type of store. But other than that, everything looks good. Everything looks good to go. It's pretty simple, like I said. Actually, one more thing. Let me check to see the actual product. Let's see what happens if I click that. Yeah, simple, clean website. I got all this for 25 bucks. He included all the colors I talked about. He got everything right. This is as much as I can expect for the money that I paid. The other stores, there were things missing. It just didn't come together as clean as this guy did. As they always say, you get what you pay for, but in this case, you don't. What I do want to mention is that I actually made a few grammatical changes, some shipping changes, some price changes to the store. Nothing major. I left pretty much the entire thing to keep the integrity of the design down, but I had to change just a few things that were quite obvious and took me probably like a minute total to map out. Okay, so now I've got a product and a store, and the next thing I need to do is actually I need a video ad that's going to grab someone's attention. Okay, if I'm going through Facebook, or I'm going through Instagram, or if I'm going through YouTube, or whatever the case is, I need to grab their attention so that they can come to my store so that I can get their money. Okay, so if you've been following the channel for a long time, I talk about a company called Viral Ecom Ads. Now, the reason that I use them is because it makes it easy for me. I don't have to scour the internet, clip together pieces of video, put it together, put some copy on top, make this amazing video. It just takes me a long time to do that. So I hired out to a company called Viral Ecom Ads. This video, I wanted to do that same thing because I want to show you the quality work that they do. They're able to create kick-ass videos in about 48 or so hours. They're experts at it. They're the best at what they do. So what I did is I went to viralecomads.com. I typed in, a little bit of the details, a link to the AliExpress page for the product, and I uploaded the logo and I sent it off on their way. 48 hours went by and they came back and they delivered this to me. Now, if you want a video like that, go ahead and check them out. There's a link down below in the description. Otherwise, don't worry about it. I created a full dropshipping store video where it talks about how you can actually create video ads for free. So you can check out that as well. So at this point, I am 10 days in the project. I've got a store, I've got a product, I got this video ad, right? Things are starting to come together. The only problem is that nobody knows who I am. People ask me, what are the two most important things for dropshipping? And I say, one is the product, and two is being able to actually perform on, Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Google or whatever it is. Like, those two things are, if you don't have those two things, it's going to be so hard for you to be able to work, right? Because you can't drive traffic and then people don't like the product, right? So it's the product and it's advertising. Those are the two things that you pay attention to. And because of that, because of me going to Facebook, I might lose $1,000 myself or $2,000 myself. I don't trust someone to do that for me, okay? So for this part, I had to actually do it myself. So what I did is I went out there, I put up some ads. It took me about 30 minutes total to get everything set up, the Facebook page, get all the moderation in there, set up the initial ads, and then we just had to wait. By the next day, afternoon, I was able to get everything up and running, which is crazy to think about because within a matter of less than 2 weeks, we were able to create an entirely new brand, store, product, ads, everything, get it all up and running within less than 2 weeks. And I was able to do that without actually spending more than 2 to 3 hours organizing the whole thing. Really, I just sitting back watching Netflix, eating popcorn or whatever. So I'm sitting there, I'm marveling at this whole thing, and all of a sudden something happens. So it's day 3 right now, but I want to show you what happened on day 2. So yesterday we actually got 2 sales. You can see $139.98. Getting a call here. But we got 2 sales, so obviously we doubled the amount of sales we had. Again, it's still early to tell that we're getting sales, but we're still not profitable. We're spending more than we're actually getting. Okay, so here's the first week of selling. I launched on the 13th, and then the 14th, it kind of looks like it doubled. The 15th, it skyrocketed. The 16th, it dropped a little bit. But as you can see, I just made a sale on day 1. Day 2, I made a couple sales. Day 3, nearly $500, and then back down to just below $400. So you've seen some promises, you've seen some things that are coming in. This thing is definitely selling. It's just gonna be a matter of finding more data, using that data to make more sales, and then continuing to scale up and becoming profitable over time. So things were starting to ramp up, and now something unexpected happened. As always, something always gonna happen. Facebook actually disabled all the ads that I had running, the ones that were optimizing, the ones that were starting to get sales on it. They just took all that away. And when I looked at the actual reason, what they said was that this was being seen as more in the weapon category, which is against advertising policies, which really pissed me off because I had seen other advertisers selling the same exact product, even more of a weapon perspective on it, and they have millions of views, so they're able to sell it, but I'm not going to be able to do it. That really bugged me. Alright, so we ran into some issues. We've got our ad account shut down actually. My ads, not my ad account. This ad isn't running because it doesn't follow our advertising policies. Your ad promotes the sale of ammunition, firearms, paintball guns, BB guns, or other weapons. This happens. Sometimes there's an internal system that flags things, so I'm gonna contact support and see if I can get this back up and running again. So what it is, I quickly went to Facebook support. I said, hey, I pleaded with them, what's going on? These were flagged. They took this down. It was running before. Can you help me out? So within a couple hours, they had someone manually review the ad account, and before I knew it, I was back up and running. Okay, so I'm talking to Facebook support. Hopefully, they can get this all sorted out and get our ads back up and running. There's not a whole lot I can do at this point. They're just kind of gonna review it and then get back to me when they can. So at this point, I was starting to get some traction. I had some sales going. What I did next was I tried to duplicate the ads because I wanted to get those winning ads. I wanted to spend more on those, so I duplicated the ads. I killed ads that weren't working. I was doing all the scaling strategies that I talked about in the PDF down below. And what happened was those ads were immediately rejected, okay? So I had to go back to Facebook support. I said, hey, this same problem's happening again. These are the same ads, just different targeting. What's going on? And they did the same thing. They manually reviewed it. They were up and running in 2 to 3 hours, and things were back to normal. Now the next day, I started to run more ads, and then those were rejected. Then I started to do more ads, and those were rejected. So I was doing this back and forth like ping pong game with the Facebook support team, getting these things to try to operate without me having to go in there every day, because that's just a lot of work, right? I'm trying to do this so I don't have to spend a lot of work. And that was really kind of hindering us from being able to make any progress on the store. And I got to a point where I was in there the whole time. They couldn't white label or whitelist my ads at all, so I was stuck. And I realized that I didn't want to get to a place where I'm doing $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and then start to scale this up, and then all of a sudden just have my entire account shut down. So I had to just stop what I was doing and find a different solution. So I quickly brainstormed what my next move was. I could do Instagram influencers, I could do Google Shopping, I could do YouTube. There's a lot of different places that I could go. I knew that I had a great product because it was selling, but I just needed a different platform that wasn't gonna shut me down. So then it clicked to me. I said, okay, I can do Google, because what better place to advertise than a place where there's people looking for the same product, and I just have to get in front of those people. And then it also clicked to me. I said, okay, well, I'm doing this challenge where I'm trying to hire out all the work. Why am I doing the advertising? You know, I kind of took back the point I just said earlier. I was like, why don't I have someone do it, okay? What I did is I said, okay, I'm gonna do Google advertising. I went out to Google to find Google advertisers, ironically, and I did a search. And what I came up to was a company called Logical Positions. I called them up, we had a discovery call. I sent them over some information, some logo, they sent the link to the website. Basically gave them everything that I had for the store. Hey, it's gonna take us a couple weeks to put this stuff together. We've got everything we need, but we need our designers to work on everything, get the whole account set up. You need to give us some more stuff. And that whole process is gonna take about 2 weeks, okay? Now, 2 weeks is a long time for me, okay? I was getting anxious, so I had to get out of here. Basically, we've got to wait 2 weeks. I'm packed up. I'm going to head out to Colorado. We've been actually stuck in quarantine for too long. I'm getting a little anxious, so I'm going to go out to Colorado for a couple weeks, see some buddies. Hopefully, by the time that I get back, Logical Positions has everything set up, and we can start to run campaigns again. So then what happened was I got back from Colorado. I hopped on another call with Logical Positions for 30 minutes, just going over the ad account, going everything that we talked about, making sure everything's correct, and then we were off to the races. Well, not quite off to the races. It took a while for the ads to get into the Google auction bidding to get this thing out there. So it was a very slow process, but we were getting started. This is Kyle. Good, how's it going? Doing all right, just surviving right now. So everything is going great. Before I knew it, I was starting to get sales again. They weren't coming in as frequently because I wasn't able to spend as much. With what this was doing, I was actually only spending $900 for the entire month for the advertising because I wanted to take it slow. I didn't know how this was all going to play out, so I wanted to take kind of bits and pieces of data to see what worked. And I let this thing run for 30 days. Okay, so for 30 days, I allowed basically the entirety of my success on, I'm leaning on other people to go ahead and to put this thing together and work together and make a successful store. Now, what happened next is I got another call after the 30 days with Logical Positions to go over the ad account to see if we're profitable, if we're not profitable, if we're close to profitable. What are we looking at here, okay? And so that footage is what I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so here's the moment you've been waiting. This is kind of private information, but sharing it with you guys. We've spent about $939 right now. Let's actually go. So this is from June 9th to July 14th. So a little over a month I've been running these. Let's go ahead and check to see, our profits right now. So we've got, down here we've got, we've spent the $939. We've had 16 conversions, and at $58.72 a cost per conversion. Now, if you remember, this product is actually selling for $79.99. So at $59, I'm getting around a 1.35 ROAS. Now, the other thing I should mention is that I calculated my break-even ROAS. So I'm selling the product for about $80. I'm getting it for 28. So give or take about probably that 1.5 to 1.6 ROAS is really the break even. On top of that, I'm also spending, $1,000 a month for this company to run the ads for me. So right now I'm definitely losing money. It is still early. They're doing a lot of testing. As we can see, Let's look at this. Let's change the dates here. So right now they're at about $58 a conversion. Let's check for just this week. Actually, we'll do the last 7 days. So the last 7 days they've hit 53.21. So they've lowered it about, $5 or so per conversion, which is actually huge. And so you can see over time how at the beginning you start really wide, it's very general, you're trying to gain data just like with anything, and then over time what you're trying to do is find out what works, doubling down on what works, and then killing and eliminating things that do not work. So there's a lot of promise that's happening with this. We just need to continue to work on it, mine it, and eventually we should be able to make this thing profitable. Now at this point, the store is not profitable, okay? I can't lie to you, it's not profitable at the point of recording this video, but mind you, I hired everything out, right? I gave everything away. So like my knowledge, everything that I've worked towards to be successful in this space, I didn't get to apply enough of that to it. Now the store needs a lot of work, okay? I didn't talk about that. The store needs a lot of work. There's things that I can do in terms of creating a higher conversion rate. There's things that I can do in terms of an upsell with that product that's going to be able to increase the order value so that I'm getting more out of each customer, because let's be honest, traffic's expensive and you have to find ways to squeeze out money here and there to make this thing profitable. I've got a bunch of tricks up my sleeve that I'm going to be doing. Now this video is over, but the project is not over. So I could do a follow-up video and show you exactly what I did to tweak to the store to make it work, or not, I don't know. If you're interested in that, why don't you drop a comment down below, like the video, obviously subscribe, man. And yeah, I think I will do one, okay? If you guys want me to do one, let me know, and I'll do it. I got a few tricks up my sleeve, like I said. So with that being said, until next time, peace.